Hey, this is the Simulation Soccer League. I'm Jiggly.
I'm Val. Welcome to Matchday 4 of Division 1.
Yes. What do you have for the standings?
We have Catalunya on top on 7 points and a +4 goal difference. They are tied with Athênai, who trail them on goal difference. And then 4 teams, Cairo, Hollywood, Sydney, and Tokyo, all on 4 points. Uh, it goes in that order: Cairo, Hollywood, Sydney, Tokyo on the goal difference, and goals for in the case of a couple of these. And then Sao Paulo is 7th on 3 points, and Accra is bottom on 0 points.
That's a bit surprising given the amount of work that they were doing in this offseason.
It is a bit surprising, but it's their first year up. There's going to be some growing pains in the short term. That's not to say that they can't still have a pretty good season. And again, it's early. We're talking you know, most of the league has 4 points or less. You win one game, you're back in.
I
But
mean,
you
yeah,
obviously
it's
don't want to be
it's
playing
close
Sunday.
enough. Well, our first game is apparently going to be Cairo against Sao Paulo.
Yep, Cairo in third on 4 points. Sao Paulo is 7th on 3. Cairo last week with a 2-2 draw against Sydney. Sao Paulo fell 1-0 to Hollywood. So that's that. Cairo with a win over Accra, a loss to Catalunya, and a draw with Sydney. Both these teams have played Sydney. Sao Paulo beat Sydney, but lost to Hollywood and Athênai. So that's how those two team seasons have gone so far.
Starting to get a bit concerned because we are not seeing a game yet.
Alexa, play some hold music. I don't actually have an Alexa.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not much else to say. It is early in the season, and here we go. We have some visuals, finally, and here it is. Cairo is lining up in a classic 4-3-3. You usually see that as one of the suggested rules. Okay, I'm a bit angry. It's a 4-2-3-1, but no right wing. It's
Yeah, that's an interesting formation. We'll see if that leaves them exposed on that right hand side. That right back's gonna have a lot of work to do today.
it's certainly a choice.
It can either be 4D hungry hippos against yourself, or it can be a tactical masterclass. Or
I
you
mean,
get the complete neutral option and it ends in a draw.
that's the thing. Like, just the complete neutrality of it.
Yeah, obviously, right back is going to have a lot of pressure on them today because there's no one to support them on that side.
Well, there's Antivier. Well, I mean, here they've got it. Pascal Antivier, wide open near the center of the park.
Wow, Sao Paulo not wasting time, and it comes from the left side. That's a nice ball by Biscuit. Antivier peels off Ask Jeeves, slots it home. Cairo nil, Sao Paulo 1.
I mean, yeah, that's the farthest right attacker they've got, hanging out in the center. I mean, that's the one thing that you can do with that sort of formation is you get an overload in an area.
Yeah, you create overloads, you can create problems.
And Torres does what he does. That was a quick cross there. I wasn't really expecting much. I didn't even see Torres in the box.
Yep, and that's what a goal scorer can do. They can make you forget they're there. But like I said, this was on that side where they have just the fullback. That's a great cross in.
Well,
Torres.
I wouldn't say that there's any problem there though. I mean, the fullback is
Yeah,
playing that like any fullback would.
yeah. I'm not saying. I'm just. It's an observation more than assigning blame. But
Well, here's Anavier again to Ayodewe. That
very
cross isn't really going to anyone.
very lively start to this one.
I mean, we're about 21st minute now. Incline with a big pass up to Adowa. Biscuit
Nice save by the Heretic there.
still alive, and he's taken down in the box, but there is no call there.
Referee says all ball.
And it's always incredibly hard to figure out whether it actually is or not.
Yeah, as someone with officiating experience myself, by read so much writing on hand, intramural refereeing almost a decade ago in my first semester of college.
I took an entire, and for PE credit, I took sports officiating. And here's Torres. That's
a
not
nice
getting
save.
too far.
Nice save by Rage there.
I took sports officiating, and I taught the entire class how to dive.
Well, I hope they remember you at the Olympics.
There's a bad giveaway in their defensive third. And here's a chance for Noodle. Rage gets in front of it.
Yeah, Rage had that covered all the way.
I was the only person in that class to get a red card.
Hey, can't say you didn't put all your effort.
I demanded for a red card. And that shot from Possible does not get past. It is blocked, but they are going to keep it on this recycle. But the recycle didn't do much either.
Yeah, I feel like Cairo has created a little bit more throughout this first half hour, but obviously still plenty of soccer to be played.
Torres.
What a tackle.
That was a great tackle from Lexington over there. You know, that's the important thing that I've been seeing with a lot of these defenders are developing, is that, you know, there's a lot of them that, you know, kind of want to have some fun with it, you know, build themselves up in a more attacking way, but definitely the guys that are going to stand out in the defense are the ones who are good defenders. As you see there, Mayhem getting in front of the ball from Torres.
On the right side again. Well, defenders right, attackers left. You know what I meant. Yeah,
We'll just call it the weak side. It's very clearly the weak side.
Yeah, and it looks. I took a look at the action zones during that little breather, and Cairo's been attacking that like for the vast majority of their attacks. But also Sao Paulo is also creating from there. So a lot of action going on that far side.
I think it might just be Anavier in that half space.
Yeah, and we know how good Anavier is.
Ooh, that shot from Noodle just gets tipped over by Thessenwitz. I don't even know if that was Thessenwitz or Lexington that got the last touch, but either way.
Doesn't matter who does it as long as it's not in the back of the net.
And we've made it to halftime. I mean, it's hard to really say. I mean, Cairo has definitely had a better go of it. They had the 1.43 XG already. As we all know, XG doesn't really mean anything, but it does mean some things.
Yeah, it doesn't tell the full story, but it tells a story. But it does kind of confirm what I saw. Like, Sao Paulo scores, and since then, I feel like Cairo has been the more dangerous team.
Definitely, they've had, you know, I may talk about numbers a lot, but I do base most of what I see on vibes, and on vibes, definitely. Cairo has been on the attack a whole lot more. They felt a whole lot more dangerous, and I haven't really seen much out of Sao Paulo since that early goal.
Yeah, and I mean, again, a lot of action on that far side. I think, you know, Anavier in that on that half space, plus, you know, just having the fullback. And I think Cairo's trying to match them for numbers, because obviously they've been trying to play it out on that side and then put the ball in the box and hope that Torres can do stuff, which we did see. Torres got the goal.
Well, do you think that they are playing to that side, or it's just a coincidence?
You got some subs. Wesley Staines
Stains and on for
and Jeff
Schlem.
for Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
So we kick off the second half. Oh, nice ball.
A nice ball there to legit. But that cross does not make it to. I was about to say Navarro, but that can't be that name over there because I don't remember a player named Navarro. Newman.
Yeah, the guy that just came on.
Yep. Great save from Rage. A point-blank header from Torres. Rage gets in front of it on that corner. Corner
great
of the net.
reflexes. Great reflexes there from Adam Rage to make the save, and then defender cleaning up the mess.
There's Jeeves on the wing. Cutting in. Tries for a shot there. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to force a rebound or what.
Oh, you know what they say.
You miss
Get
100%
pucks
of the
deep.
shots you don't take.
Get pucks deep. Get pucks in the net and win some hockey games. I'm going to keep saying that. Here's Sao Paulo. They got a cross in there. Couldn't get anybody on the end of it, though.
And
There's Anavier again. Ladiver!
Whoa!
Great curling ball. Did go a bit slow, so understandable that the Heretic got to it, but good idea there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to catch the Heretic napping there. Caught me off guard. But needs a little bit more venom if it's going to really trouble him.
I think that, what we're seeing from Sao Paulo with, those stats saying that they're attacking much more on that right side is to see Anavier tracking all the way back on Jeeves. When you leave that space open, it's almost like, you think of physics. And when you have a vacuum and, this pocket doesn't have anything in it. So it just sucks in all of the air from the rest of it until it's all equilibrium, right? Here's Newman. Saved.
About to say, I'm not a physics expert. I barely passed it in high school.
But I mean, conceptually, if you leave that space open, it's so much easier to fill it in. So it's so much easier for a player who knows how to work the half spaces, like Anavier, to fill in that spot if it's wide open. And so when you leave that space open, and Cairo maybe might get a bit more narrow on that side, it allows Anavier to move outside a bit more. I think that might be the sort of idea that it's going for.
And another look from Cairo there that went wide of Adam Rage. They continue to be threatening, but doesn't really mean much if you're not finishing.
I mean, Cairo is definitely more threatening at this moment going forward as we see Noodle. Shot is not even anywhere. Cairo is definitely more threatening overall. But Sao Paulo has had a couple of very good chances. Well, there's Toastman. Powdered Toastman.
Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. Take a look at the corner. Noodle holds it up, and Toastman, there was no one near him. I mean,
Ladiver got off of him, actually.
Yeah, that dude was in the Sahara.
I mean, Ladiver is that lone right back. And I think he's been working a bit too hard as he's all the way over there now, and they're definitely getting stretched here. Possible shot is pushed over, but yeah, we don't know how downbeaten Ladiver is at the moment, but I'm sure he's got to be tired.
Yeah, it's, you're basically handling the workload of pretty much 75% of that side. Because obviously, again, you have Anavier coming in to help, but other than that, it's basically just...
Yeah, I haven't even seen I mean, you'd think that those midfielders, Inclin, I mean, now coming over to help, but you would think that we'd have seen that sort of thing a bit more. as Sao Paulo is working their way towards an equalizer. Bad giveaway in the middle third as Jeeves comes up. There's no one near him. Up to Torres. Ball is still in. Cleared away by Lediver.
Double save there from Adam Rage to keep this game close. I mean, if he gives that one up, I mean, obviously there's still plenty of time, but that would feel kind of like a dagger to me. But sometimes you need your keeper to keep you in games. That one is.
Newman is barely pushed out.
See if they can create some magic off the corner.
Not really.
They created
in fact, everyone ran away from the ball after it was cleared away.
The ball is lava.
You know, I knew a guy who would back in some of those bad years of the Fire, which we're still in technically. You know, he would constantly yell out onto the pitch at the games, "Get in the lava." You know, get in the box, do something there. Get in the lava.
Not a lot of time left for Sao Paulo to try and get something out of this.
Cairo's not gonna really try for anything. And there it is. The moment it hits 93, it is done. Cairo wins 2-1. And kind of, you know, hey, those people on those players on the right side definitely had a lot of work. So they were given some higher scores, but I'm not quite sure if that, you know, is really what they wanted.
Yeah, you can't really say Cairo didn't deserve that game. I mean, you just look at the numbers. You know, Sao Paulo had their looks. They absolutely did.
Cairo should have won by more. You look at that match story there. Cairo should have absolutely won by more.
Yeah, but Adam Rage was really good. There was some shoddy finishing, but
25 shots, 12 on target.
Yeah, that's 10 saves for Adam Rage, which is just absolutely fantastic.
I mean, that defense did all that it could. That Sao Paulo defense did all that it could. And I think that might come down to, you know, a lack of finishing. I mean, we saw a lot of those chances did come from Noodle, and Noodle not quite, you know, Noodle is much more of a facilitator than a scorer.
Yeah. And I mean, he did have an assist in this match.
That's what I mean, facilitator.
Yep, so that will put Cairo on 7 points and a +1 goal difference. Sao Paulo will remain 7th with a +1 goal difference.
You know, sometimes it happens.
Because they were at a +2 because they blew the doors off Sydney, and their losses have all been pretty close.
Well, the next game is going to be Catalunya against Hollywood. This is a bit of a grudge match. You know, when I think of like the top teams, you know, for a long time, I mean, you know, when we talk about a lot of these sim leagues, I mean, there's usually like one or two teams that you can name off the top of your head as like, these are historically good teams. And we already have that. I mean, it's, what season is this? It's season 7 or something like that? 6? I mean, only season 6, we already have a couple of teams that are like, you know, historically great teams. And that is Hollywood and Catalunya. And, you know, I think that's, this should be an interesting game. These are two title contenders. We thought that Sydney was title, obviously won the title last season. They're not quite title contenders this season. But definitely the two teams that we are all looking at as the possible Division 1 champions, it's got to be one of these two. So this is definitely the game to win for each of these two teams.
Yep, Catalunya currently in first, 7 points, +4 goal difference, wins over Cairo and Tokyo, and a draw with Athênai, who they are tied with. And last week they was that draw, 1-1. Hollywood, on the other hand, is currently fourth, 4 points and a 0 goal difference. They beat Sao Paulo, lost to Athênai, and drew with Tokyo last week. That was their 1-0 win over Sao Paulo. As we get into this one, Catalunya coming out 4-1, 4-1.
This is the exact formation that I love talking about, the 5-0-5. Here's an interesting
what's
one.
that?
It's a 4-2-4. It is a 4-2-4. I've seen this sort of thing before. It's one of those that is sort of like touted in the football manager community as like unbeatable if you have the right players, especially like you play with like the current PSG team. 4-2-4 is just going to win every single game if you play with that team. And so, I mean, the interesting thing about Hollywood is that like they had a formation that really worked in their first few seasons, and then they just sort of moved away from it. Like without it being necessary, they just moved away.
Maybe they
And
thought it was becoming predictable or something. I mean, I don't claim to be on the inside.
I mean, like, yeah, you can say predictable, but you know, I think that this isn't like you play a single player mode. Here's Bobby, real quick,
Good
saved by Gunnarsson. I mean, it's not about whether it's predictable or not. Like, if it works, it works. And if other teams aren't really adapting to it yet, I didn't really see too many teams like actually adapting to their strategy. As Bobby's header again, saved by Gunnarsson. I didn't really see too many teams adapting, and they just sort of switched out of it anyway.
Yeah, maybe it was I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it works. As that
I mean,
corner did absolutely nothing.
we're seeing both Catalunya and Hollywood play in very, formations that don't really apply the midfield too much.
Yeah, it's long ball inshallah today.
Which is very interesting, as Catalunya is the type of I've criticized it in the past. I've criticized it in the past, but I'm not gonna. I'm trying to say something nice about Catalunya. Okay, this is a first. I've criticized it in the past. That is a great shot there by Okamoto, I think. It was blocked. It was a bit far off. I think that it might have had the curl to get in, but it was blocked. I mean, the thing about Catalunya is I've criticized that style of play in the past that they usually play. But, it's something that is, that I love Johan Cruyff, and his big thing was, play beautifully, and that is, the type of play that even if it's not like extremely exciting, it is, beautiful to watch the ball move around like that. So, it's a bit somewhat surprising to see this sort of formation out of a team that likes to play beautifully.
Yeah, it's going for directness over possession, as that one's offside.
Although it is a style that I like, which is 5 in the back, 5 up front, let God sort out the midfield.
What even is a midfield?
You don't need one. Here's possible. Sends it in for Rashford. That's a great shot. Gunnarsson gets to it. Could have put it anywhere but there.
Yeah, it's like the second really nice save by Gunnarsson in this first half hour. Got a free kick.
I think our coach is going to take the shot. And he does! Sterling barely gets it away.
Might have seen that one a little bit late, but he, better late than never.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot felt like Jacob Glesnes territory right there.
Yeah,
Almost worked.
I'm just thinking of the one. My friend always mentions it, that it was like a playoff game it was like the Red Bulls against DC United. It was a playoff game, and Thierry Henry is standing over the ball, and some random dude takes a shot, and that maple shot almost makes it.
I know
Roy
what
Miller.
game you're talking about.
I just couldn't remember the name.
I know exactly what game you're talking about. Because that was the second
Kocha! Saved by Sterling.
Because that was second leg of the 2012 playoffs that got delayed.
It was a comeback. It was like a big comeback for DC too.
Yeah, and Hamid got sent off, and then Kenny Cooper scored a penalty, but then had to retake it, and he missed the retake. And then Rafa Marquez in MLS Rafa Marquez fashion gets sent off, and then DC scores in like the 88th minute to advance. That's one of those all-time
Yeah.
MLS playoff games. If nothing else, because it's peak Metro.
Getting the Metro playoff spirit. No, Metro playoff fever. I'm sorry.
Yes. And that brings us to halftime.
That is halftime. That was very late on. Hollywood looked a whole lot more interesting. But Catalunya does seem to have a bit more of the run of things. But yeah, Hollywood has gotten overall, Catalunya has had more chances, but Hollywood has had a couple of very quality chances.
Yeah, and also Gunnarsson's had to make a couple of really big saves. So it's kind of a quality versus quantity kind of thing so far.
Well, I will say that's that one save that Gunnarsson made on Rashford. I mean, Rashford could have shot it anywhere. That's one of those things where anywhere but there.
Kevin De Bruyne and Jackson Clark on for Catalunya. And no changes from Hollywood.
Lane Kwai sends it up to Rashford. And just lets the ball get away from him.
Loose touch. Jossie Zardes moment.
This is, between us, is just going to be the MLS references, huh?
And I think that's more a USMNT fan complaint than an MLS fan complaint at this point.
Oh yeah, in MLS he's so much better, actually. Even though he got traded for next to nothing. Yarvin Okocha.
A lot of numbers in the box right now.
And it's not going to matter. In fact, it might work against him as Taka is trying to kickstart this counterattack. Takes a bit too long. But hey, Bobby's free and it's in!
Yeah, as soon as I saw that ball played into Ricky Bobby, there was a lot of space there.
Juliusson just sort of comes off of him.
Yeah, and then he sneaks in behind, and then he's got a 1v1 with the keeper. Gunnarsson's been excellent, but not getting to that one. That's just a clinical finish. And Hollywood takes a 1-0 lead in what could be one of the biggest games of the season.
Big 6-pointer here. I mean, that's one of the big things that they teach you as a young defender. I mean, hey, if you're gonna come after the ball, come correct. Make sure you pay attention to where your positioning is. I mean, sure, the left back could have done something about it, but that's your man. That's your mark.
Another look.
That might be called offside.
Looks like it counts.
It's counting. Okay.
That happened very quickly, and Hollywood opening a 2-0 lead.
All the way back from possible. Yeah, that definitely is clearly onside there.
Yeah, that's a Hail Mary, and then Gunnarsson tries to claim the ball and just whiffs.
This was caught a bit too far.
Off the line.
Just a bit. Well, I mean, they just created enough of a space there.
Yeah. Can Catalunya respond? Because that's 2 goals pretty quickly.
There's Catalunya. Nah. Vince's shot goes over the bar.
Yeah. Had a good look, but no finish. Oh. No.
There's Clark recovering it. Siakovic's almost dispossessed there.
I feel like some of these attacking players are just running into each other.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's what happens when you do try to make that overload. Suddenly there's not enough space to move.
Yeah, it's like in basketball when you have 2 non-shooters who are inside presences. There's just they just get in the way.
Exactly. Jones sends it up to Bobby. He's going to hold it up. And that's Rashford finally getting the goal.
Unselfish. Absolutely unselfish and absolutely the right play. Rashford was wide open. Long ball there to Bobby.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone was committed to Bobby and forgot about Rashford.
Fisk gets completely pulled out of position there.
Yeah, and wow, Hollywood is not taking any prisoners today.
It's only the 70th minute.
Yeah, that's 3 goals in 15 minutes there.
Very quick turnaround.
Yeah, this game was even, and then it wasn't. But who knows? Maybe we got another run in us.
Whereas Clark sends it up to Mojo Rising. Clark still has it. The shot is saved by Scott Sterling. You know, they have both Sterling and Rashford. And Gerrard. Rising with a big shot from outside the box. That's going to get pushed over.
Yeah, it's another case there, I feel like, of just there's no
room.
It's just clogged.
I mean, that's kind of the point. I don't think that this is Hollywood's intention, but they're kind of doing it.
Good luck. Oh.
Yeah, that De Bruyne's shot gets blocked. Wait, here's Tiki Taka. The irony of Tiki Taka playing against Catalunya.
And playing fairly direct game at that.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, yeah, that is kind of a problem of the Tiki Taka system. You know, obviously, I don't think either team are really actually playing that system right now. But I mean, you know, sometimes you get up there and suddenly just everything's blocked up because you just got so many players up there. I mean, it's an issue that, you know, you see a lot in hockey even, where, you know, you just got to keep trying to recycle the puck around the outside, and you're just not getting any openings, and, you know, you just settle for shots like that. You just settle for like shots up at the blue line, or, you know, in this case, you know, shots outside of the box, trying to find some way in. You're not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, those shots from outside the box can work if your team is able to bury them, but so
Or
far
if you get
Catalunya
enough,
has not been.
you know, room. I mean, obviously, you're not getting enough space anyway. So I mean, there's going to be defenders nearby enough to make a challenge.
Yeah, or maybe, you know, you force a rebound and you get a runner.
Well, you know what I say.
Oh god, here we go again.
Get pucks deep, get pucks in the net, and here's possible. Win some hockey games.
Getting into the final 10 minutes of this one, which again changed pretty quickly.
This game has definitely turned around very quickly. The thing is that, I mean, as Catalunya, you really do. Even if you know you're not going to win, you need to try to lower that goal differential because you are fighting against this team at the top of the table at the end of the season.
And every goal matters.
Like every goal will matter.
Like we've seen it this season, like we've seen it last season. You know, that goal difference, like 1 or 2 blowouts can put you in a hole.
Well, there's it is. One. Maple with the far post run. Ricky Bobby, the hero of the day, not tracking back on defense.
Yep, Vins with the corner. It looks like that was flicked on, actually, by Jero.
Yeah.
And Maple just happened to be right place, right time. Here we go again with another corner. Could we have
Jared got a piece of it? End? And this time, Jero gets all of that one.
Still with Catalunya, though, so maybe the ending of this game will be a bit spicier than we expected.
Well, it's going the other way now. Cuts it out for just a second. Here's Taka. That's blocked. I think that was Fist who blocks it.
Yeah, Fist with the recovery run just to get in the way of that shot, because that was a pretty high danger chance.
I mean, you know what I said at the beginning of the game about Catalunya's formation, which is 5-5-0-5, let God sort out the midfield, and I mean that midfield has just been a absolute war zone of turnovers for both teams.
Yeah.
It's very clear why both teams have chosen their formations, because neither team really seems to be too confident with their midfield.
Yeah, try and win ugly, I guess.
There's probably the last chance to cut down this deficit a little bit more to make it help later in the season. But I don't think they're going to get that chance, as we're a little less than 20 seconds.
Unless we have a CONCACAF referee, and then it's more like 3 minutes.
Sometimes that happens. This is Catalonia.
Something UEFA Lona.
Well, that's it. That's full time here. Hollywood has won it 3-1. Went very quickly in between the 50th and 65th minute, and Catalunya could not really respond.
Yeah, I mean, they get the consolation goal at the end, which softens the goal difference a little bit, but and I believe that means I'm trying to run the math in my head. I believe these two teams are now just straight up tied on everything.
Well, I mean, you look at
Points, goal difference. I think they even actually have the same goal difference, or the same goals for. Yeah,
I think there's also
no. I
go
think
on.
Catalonia is still ahead on goals for. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do more on maritime mental math. Math is not my strong suit.
The thing that's I really do notice with Catalunya is that there might be it's somewhat of an issue in any sort of league like this, where you're going to get a lot of people who want to be fully defensive or fully attacking, and not too many people that want to be just like solidly midfield. Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard type, Paul Scholes are just like, you are a midfielder. That is it.
The glue fellas.
Yes, and I think that that Catalunya formation is sort of a byproduct of something like that, where you're not going to get much in the midfield. As I said, that 5-0-5, let God sort out the midfield. But I mean, you play a game like that, and you see, they do have those substitutions. They do have the people to come off the bench and make a difference, but they have people who come off the bench and make a difference in the attack. Or you can have players who come off the bench and solve things in the defense. But you want to hope to get more of those midfielders. You want to hope to get more. The box-to-box midfielder is like one of those dying breeds, but also like it's something that is, you're gonna need it every single time, but you just don't talk about it because it's not a pretty position.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but it's like
it's very effective.
D mids are like the biggest floor raisers in the sport. Like, I mean, look at the difference that N'Golo Kante had with Leicester. Like, and
I mean, you can go even further back with Yaya Toure.
Exactly. How important he was. And you need that glue to sort of bridge the defense and the attack.
I mean, you're talking about there's a difference between a box-to-box midfielder and an 8, which I think, to me, like the 8 is, I mean, we're moving away from MLS now to NWSL, which is Morgan Gautrat, who I just very distinctly remember, when I was covering the Red Stars, it was very specifically that, they had one of the best 6s in the entire league, which was Danielle Colaprico, and one of the most versatile 10s in the league in Vanessa DiBernardo, or they would have Yuki Nagasato, my favorite player. Well, we've got the next game. Accra FC has a 4-3-3, and you see someone like Komato. Komato is someone who can play in that sort of position. And Athênai has a 4-4-2. I think Gin Tonic might be one of the closest things. I think there are a couple of players in the second division that if I covered second divisions, I'd talk about as like great box-to-box midfielders, but I don't cover the second division very often because it doesn't fit into my schedule. But I think that the closest player in the first division right now to a good box to box would be Gin Tonic.
Yeah. Going into this one, Accra are bottom. They have not secured a single point. Versus Athênai, who are currently in that log jam at the top. They have 7 points, wins over Sao Paulo and Hollywood, and a draw over Catalunya. That draw with Catalunya was last week for Athênai, and Accra lost 2-1 to Tokyo. So that's how the seasons have gone for those two teams so
Celich
far.
with a chance here really early. Druid! That shot goes over the bar. Yeah, Athênai is one of those teams, like, you know, I said, like, oh yeah, historically good teams. And then there's Athênai who is already historically forgotten. They're always sort of like kind of in contention, but nobody really talks about them that much.
The sort of sly dark horse that exists.
They are definitely the constant, like, they're dark. Ooh!
Oh, goal!
A good shot by Kemoeatu. Kemoeatu. There we go.
Yeah, that happened very quickly. And that's a much needed goal for a team who's scored the fewest in D1 thus far.
Shaka moves to the byline. Yep.
That's a lovely finish by Kemoeatu. And a great start for Accra, which they kind of needed.
And they almost try to fight back there here at the 4th minute. And, you know, unfortunately, I have to mention that it always happens when I'm watching. Maybe it's better when I'm not watching. But, man, poor Lind. Oh. Lind is always the one that's like either loses their mark, does something bad whenever I'm watching. Ooh, here's a quick one. Dead. Big injury now. Silver Druid. It's going to have to come off. But who do they select? They don't have anybody on the bench that could. Oh no! Are you gonna put a? No, you can't. You can't put it. You can't put a. Oh no! They're putting a holding midfielder on right wing.
I am not judging. And that's a good save there. Or no, that went wide.
Oh no!
Watch him score the game winner and just
Oh no!
I need this in my life. Oh, nice ball.
Oh, Kemoeatu with another goal. You know, it might not matter. It might not matter. They might just win anyway.
Yeah, this is just pretty. What a ball! What a ball! And then Kemoeatu.
Wide open. Great job getting that shot around Anderson.
Calm, cool, composed. 2-0 to Accra. A game they sorely need after a sluggish first couple games.
I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about the fact that there was an actual right midfielder on the bench. Not quite a right winger, but there was a right midfielder on the bench. And they chose a holding midfielder. Labovich!
But that went wide. These have been some very pretty passing sequences from Accra. Here they come again.
Leonta Xhaka. That's saved by Anderson.
Yeah, Kemoeatu was lurking.
I mean, you know, he wants that early hat trick.
Yep. Oh, another chance for Athênai.
And so recovered pretty well, but that was, yep. Levert got in front of Black there.
Yep, comes from that flick on by 44. Labovich gets into the box. Crosses it in. Levert just sneaks through. That's a tough angle to finish from.
Yeah, that's just a good finish. I mean, you know, normally it's about like, oh yeah, talking about how great that pass was and everything, and you know, trying to big up that, but like that, it's very hard to score from that angle.
Yeah, with a defender there and Larock there, like that is not an easy shot to get off, much less get into
Well,
the
I
basket.
think he got around the defender. That angle on Larock though, that is you can't really get through that very easily.
Oh, here's maybe.
Now, trust me. I know when I need to speak. Fisher's cross, 44 with a header right into the crossbar.
He
And
doesn't miss many of those.
I mean, I was about to say 44 has not quite been as effective as he usually is.
Yeah, I feel like I've noticed him dropping back a lot more in this match.
Definitely, Levert is being treated as sort of like the featured goal scorer, which is surprising because 44 was Golden Boot.
And it was not even close, if I'm
Not even
remembering.
close.
But who
You know,
knows? Maybe it actually is like secretly a brilliant move.
I don't know.
Good players can adapt.
Quillion to
Oh, nice ball.
Xhaka, and that's it. There's another one.
Another very pretty passing play there from Accra, especially right before halftime. This ball by Corleone splits the defenders, slots it home. And a great way to take momentum back going into the half, which is happening not right now. I may just have jinxed
44
the
got in
heck
front
out
of
of it.
that. I'm pretty sure 44 was also very offside, as he normally is.
3-1
I love
Accra at
44.
halftime. Very given the results these teams have had early in the season, this is a bit unexpected, but I think this is more like the Accra that I kind of expected when they got promoted here. This is more like the Accra that,
Definitely the
ate
one
through
that I was talking about
D2
at the
for
beginning of
breakfast.
the one that I was talking about at the beginning of the broadcast.
Yeah, the one that ate D2 for breakfast last season, not the one that was, losing their first 3 games of the season. Obviously, there's 45 more minutes to go, but this has been a very promising sign of progress from the newly promoted team.
They do have a central defensive player playing at right wing. They're avoiding that right wing. Let's try not to look at it. Gin Tonic with the shot. Usually Gin Tonic tries to take that shot a bit closer.
Yeah. Maybe he was feeling ambitious.
That's the big thing about Gin Tonic is that, they really like to lurk.
Oh, that's nice.
There's Selic.
Offside. Side by here. I think Selic was like number 1 or number 2 in D2 Golden Boot last season. For the record. And here come Accra again.
Xhaka's pushing forward, but is absolutely smothered by Jaeger and Joker.
Try saying that 5 times.
Kemoeatu cuts back, lays it off. Lewin.
Noted right winger.
Noted right winger. But we shouldn't talk about his politics here.
Here comes Athênai.
Oh, a great shot from that almost. I don't even know if that was Slavovich. I think that might have been Ansa trying to clear it.
The woodwork. Keeper's best friend.
Always make sure to give a Valentine's card to your goalposts.
About a half hour to go in this one. Still 3-1 Accra.
Levert, very offside. You know what? That would have been a very smart play if it was Accra who had touched it instead of Athênai.
Yeah, I mean, he was so offside, he was practically across the border with Togo.
Well, I mean, that's it's kind of a smart play if Accra had touched it because if the ball is played by a defender, you can just take it. It's a rule.
Yeah,
It's in the offside rule.
Kobayatu,
Kamoyatsu with a
what a
big pass
ball.
to Silic.
What a ball, and an even better save there from Anderson.
So sending it in. That's not going to do much.
A lot of action
44
in
with the
this.
cross.
A lot of
Nope.
action in this one.
I mean, Accra is going to be happy to hold on to it right now, especially with that big loss at right wing, as the right winger comes back and makes that stop. Corleone puts it forward to Rigmarole. Saved.
Yeah, Accra, I feel like, have just been creating a lot of a lot of really solid chances throughout the second half. Feels like they want to add to that lead, try and get a backbreaker. Oh,
Woo! Levert winning the crossbar challenge there. Remember when that was the thing?
It still is at the MLS skills competition. Here we go with the freaking references again.
Oh, it's Llewellyn. Okay, Llewellyn, I think.
Wonder who you would put in a SSL skills competition like MLS.
Well, there's Selic. I would put, like, for speed, I would absolutely have 44, obviously. Skills competition, maybe Busquets. Shot power, I'd put Gin Tonic.
Idea for the PT team. 44 is lurking.
Oh, because this is
Just
all
waiting
simulated,
for
we
that
can just
mistake.
say, we can have a most gruesome tackle competition.
Oh no!
Selic plays it through to Komiyato. Oh. Not really a great idea on that pass there, but should have taken it himself, honestly. Komiyato. Shaka.
Komayatu's been everywhere.
Yeah,
Komayatu has been everywhere, and Chaka too.
I think that specific play right there was probably the first time I said Komiyato has done something wrong. 44 almost gets it. Ooh. Just goes wide.
Still 15 minutes to go, but hasn't really been 0-44's day today.
I mean, I think that, Athênai might just not be using 0-44 the way that he used to be used.
Still 15 minutes to make me look like an idiot, though.
McMurroll takes
Long
it,
ball.
sends it up to Selic.
It's got some guys making runs. Traffic jam at the
Chaka
top of the 18.
sends it to Rigmarole. Rigmarole gets it back. They're going to put it back up.
Whoa!
Sinclair with a big shot. I don't think that was actually close. I think that was the angle of the camera that made it look close.
It was ambitious.
Cannot fault the ambition. Maybe you can.
That's only if they somehow manage to get a goal off the goal kick. Hey, maybe if you have enough wind.
Well, actually, a goal kick is an indirect free kick. So.
Right. Accra seeing a lot of the ball.
Trying to get their way through. Sinclair, rigmarole. Sends it up to Selic. Looked a bit offside.
Flag stays down.
I'm staring down the assistant referee, but I guess they're going to let it pass.
It was close, but Konstantin Selic.
I do not know. I need another look at this. We need an extra replay here. Thank you.
Asking you shall receive. Oh, that is
I'm
bang.
not sure about that. I don't think those lines were placed correctly.
That is bang.
They're going to win this game anyway, I think, but like, whew.
The camera angle does not help. Oh.
44's header is saved by Larock. That's like, I wouldn't trust 44's head. You want the ball at their feet, running, and they're just not putting him in a position to succeed. Labovitz makes the turn.
That was a nice touch. Whoa!
Shot from Levert is sort of, I think that was clipped a bit before it got kicked out.
Yep, and this is going to be a huge result for Accra. Get their first points on the board. Also helps with the goal difference, which, again, that's going to probably be big.
It gives a proof of concept to, the people working the tactics here. So Levert gets that shot saved.
Flag was up anyway.
And the right winger is offside.
Hey, he hasn't been bad. Okay, maybe he has been, but I haven't seen any noticeable errors. They're just playing
doing the things right that he should be doing right, not quite doing the things right that they're not supposed to do right anyway. And there it is. Accra wins 4-1 against Athênai. They get all 3 points and they get all 4 goals. Athênai probably should have scored a bit more. You look at the XG there, but Accra just sort of stood firm back there.
Yeah, Larock was really good. I feel like the defense was just blocking
those
everything.
2 center backs there. Look at that.
Yeah, Snooks and Black. They were just blocking everything.
And Ansa,
like they're Dikembe Mutombo out there.
Ansa was a bit quiet this game, but yeah, you look at Llewellyn. Did what they could with the fact that they were just shoved out there.
Yep, and as far
as Athênai goes, yeah, there's not much. Gin Tonic didn't really get that space at the top of the box that they like. 44 has not been implemented very well since moving to Athênai. And, Levert is kind of playing in the role that 44 wants to play in, but you can't have both players playing in that same exact role. I mean, I don't know why you'd choose Levert over 44.
Loyalty, maybe? So that puts Accra on 3 points and improves their goal difference significantly, but I think they are still behind Sao Paulo. Yes, they are. Because Sao Paulo, I believe, are at a +1, and even with that one, Accra are at a -1. But they get their first points on the board. They score more goals in one game than they did in their first 3, so that's an encouraging sign.
Definitely a proof of concept for them.
Yeah, for Athênai, they are now on a negative goal difference. So that drops them behind the rest of the leaders in this early part of the season. And yeah, that's that game.
Well, moving
Not
on.
really
You thought
much more.
go on. I had a
I was
fun
just
thing to
saying not
say.
much more we can. Oh, okay.
I had a fun thing to say, but you need to interrupt me. Go on.
No. It was filler.
You thought that the Asian Cup was gone already with getting sent down to the second division, but you forget Australia is still in that area. They're still I mean, it might not be the same. OFC and the AFC are not the same thing, but like, hey, it's the same area, and technically speaking, uh, I think the J League and the K League do not count Australians as like full foreign players. They count them as Asian players. So we're gonna count it like that. It's Sydney City against Tokyo SC up next.
Yeah, and obviously it's been a major story this season about the reconstruction of Sydney. Uh, as they sit on 4 points, 4 goals for, 6 against Tokyo, who are on the same goal difference, same point total, but 6 goals for to 8 against. Both teams with wins over Accra. As we see Sydney in a very interesting formation there, 4-1-3-2, kind of. And Tokyo,
Oh, a formation I hate. No, I
you
mean
just don't
I
like the
say
symmetry.
I don't like asymmetry. I like patterns, but I say that as I walked into I walked into Kapstad and they were using that same exact formation, and I said, "What are you doing here?" That was the first thing I said was, "I hate this formation." As Rivers, very quick tack here, gets taken down. Ooh, they're only gonna
Corner.
call it a corner, but it could have been so much more there in the first minute. I mean, if you have if you have personnel that's not going to quite work out exactly in the way that to have either both as wingbacks or just one or both as wingbacks or both as fullbacks, you do what you can.
Mm-hmm. For the record, the last week results for these two teams: Sydney 2-2 draw against Cairo. Tokyo beat Accra 2-1. Both these teams' wins were against Accra. Sydney drew with Cairo. Tokyo
Spilicueta,
drew with Hollywood.
whew, just barely
And
saved by Berger.
then Sydney lost to Sao Paulo, and Tokyo's loss was to Catalunya. So that's a quick recap of their seasons thus far. Ambitious look there.
Soderbergh
Oh,
sends it
that's a
up
nice
to
ball.
Hayden. Ooh, maybe a bit too quick on the shot there.
Yeah, probably could have taken another touch, but like the effort from the rookie.
Sends
Oh,
it up
nice
to
ball.
Rivers. Saved by Berger. Nesse, again, up against his former team. As we have said and will say many times this season. Visser with a shot, and that is saved by Problem. Kaido. Over to Hayden. Back to
Oh,
Kaido.
that's pretty.
That's
Need to get a
stopped by
little bit.
Problem.
Need to
May
get
you
a
want
little bit
to.
more on that shot. That was a nice ball in from Hayden.
Well, it's something that my dad always taught me back when I was playing. Oop. Wait. Here's Hayden. That's saved. Something that my dad taught me, which was, you want to score across the goalkeeper. Don't hit it to where the goalkeeper is. You want to hit it across. That's kind of the goal.
Whoa, little nervy there at the back.
Visser sends it forward to Isagi. Kaido, rise! Rise is free. Not really. Bit slow to be free.
Try to lob the keeper, I think. Yeah, lots been created so far in this match, but
Especially
hasn't
Tokyo's got 1.5 XG right now. I don't know if you noticed. They have 1.5 XG.
Yeah, I did see that, but yeah, obviously it doesn't matter if you don't score. Certified Problem has been excellent.
Nesse? That's not getting anywhere. Well, I mean, there's the multiple camps of what XG means.
Oh, that's a nice ball.
Spilqueta
Oh,
doesn't really get anything on that.
That's
There's
a really nice ball.
There's the different camps of what XG means and whether it's a good thing to have more XG or a bad thing to have more XG. And you can put it either way, whether, it's a lack of actual ability in finishing. Zayed saved.
League of
Whether it's
Ireland legend.
whether it's a lack of ability to finish, or it is just a thing of like, oh, it's only a matter of time before they score.
Or the keeper just has a blinder.
Well, sometimes you run into a hot tender. And what do you do then? Get pucks deep.
Oh no, not this. Whoa! Freak
It's
deflection.
Spilqueta! Can't quite get pucks in the net.
Yeah, it was a weird deflection that sprung Spilqueta. I think even he was caught off guard by that one.
That's not how physics work. It's Spilqueta!
Oh,
no! Ugh! That's one of those real tough moments that was their goal. I don't know what to say. That was your goal.
It's like you suddenly get the ball unexpectedly. It's like, oh god, what do I do with this? And then you just panic. That's
I mean, that's what separates a professional from someone who's just posing as one. Yeah, from you, specifically you. Like that's what separates a professional from someone who has those nerves in that game. You gotta make those plays in the big leagues. I mean, what? That's a Lou Gehrig quote or something, or from the Lou Gehrig movie. You gotta make those plays in the big leagues, and you didn't make that play, and that might really cost them. That was their big chance, especially with the way that Tokyo's been playing this game.
Yeah, 2 subs for Sydney at halftime. I didn't quite catch who was subbed on, but very, very action-packed game so far, but no goals.
I don't think I've seen either Scarpetta out there, so that might have been both of them. Although one of them already has a yellow card.
They started. They're the center back pairing.
Rise. Trying to bounce that ball around. Not quite getting around there.
Yeah, that ball was just all over the place. Don't think anyone really had solid control of it. And that corner goes nowhere.
I know. Shot saved.
Yep. Not really that threatening for Certified Problem. Sydney have been bending, but not breaking. That's largely thanks to their goalkeeper.
That cross is not going anywhere from keeper.
I should clarify, their goalkeeper, not their goalkeeper, who is on the pitch, playing in the field somewhere.
That was the guy that just tried to make the cross. You said somewhere. We know exactly where he is. They are. Hulkavoto sends it forward for Spilqueta.
Nice ball.
Saved by Berger.
I feel like Azpilicueta has had like 5 or 6 of these chances.
At some point, you're just going to say, probably not going to get it. Here's
Oh.
Azpilicueta again.
There's another one.
Saved again.
That one's just a good save. That's not, shanking it wide. That's just keeper comes out
Yeah,
and
that
beats
was a
ya.
good save. As I said,
Sometimes-
you gotta make that play. That's the sort of play you need to make. And you might get chances later, but I mean, some
Oh
of
my
those
goodness,
chances
another
later
one. Whoa.
aren't going to be as easy. You got to hit your free throws. Rivers saved.
And this is a good. I mean, if you wanted to watch goalkeeper duels, you're getting a really good one here.
Does anybody truly like watching a goalkeeper duel?
Yes. Because if they're dueling, that means usually there's good chances being created, and chances are what's exciting.
I mean, I'm sure you know from last season, Fire versus Philadelphia, when Bobby Shuttleworth became a martyr.
Oh god. And I've watched plenty of keeper duels being a Philadelphia fan because Andre Blake is a god.
Bobby Shuttleworth gave his life for Gaga's.
Whoa!
Close shot for Cairo.
That was cheeky.
And again, look at that XG. Both of them got 2 goals in XG right now.
Like I said, goalkeeper's just going absolutely nuts today.
Would you put that more in the defense then? That they're getting those kinds of chances?
Yeah, yes and no. It's been a lot of just really good balls, but the defenses have been a little bit more open. Oh, nice
Is
ball.
Azpilicueta again? And another block. That's Rossetti in the way.
The hit off Rossetti and then hit off Azpilicueta for the goal kick.
I think that something else happened here. Say it up to Azpilicueta.
League of Ireland legend.
Keeper. He's dancing. Sends it in. Azpilicueta to Lopta, and that's pushed away. Just barely gets a spin on it.
That hit something? Yes, corner. That did nothing.
That happens a lot in this game. That happens a lot in life, Sometimes you think something's going to happen, it's nothing.
That's why you keep your hopes low, so you can be pleasantly surprised by nothing at all.
Fantastic. Here's a big... Yep, there we go. Same type of thing. That bounced off of Hayden. Should probably check concussion protocol. That was a pretty heavy shot. And there's Zayed!
Sydney break through. Finally, someone gets some composure in the box. Comes from this long ball. Flick on. Azpilicueta. That's a great run by Zayed. And League of Ireland legend. League of Ireland legend puts Sydney up.
Good recognition. It does get around GOAT, but I don't think that, there's not too much you can fault GOAT for.
Yeah, it's just a really good ball and a really good, unselfish playoff.
Rise. Header goes over the bar. Sydney's gotten their goal, but can Tokyo get theirs?
Find out next time on SSLZ.
Well, that's not going to do it from Scarpetta.
Yep.
Why are you the one making anime jokes?
I don't even watch anime. I just know.
Exactly. Cabroni. Up to Rivers. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, Tokyo need to get urgent. They're going to get something from this.
Keeper up to Spilqueta. And offside. Closing in on the final minutes here.
Be the last attack of this game. Got some CONCACAF time.
Oh, CONCACAF is a state of mind. Sydney win 1-0 over Tokyo. You look at that XG, I mean, that's definitely the goalkeepers doing something here.
Yeah, I mean, the score does not tell the full story. This was a very close back and forth game. The certified problem was fantastic. Tokyo goalkeeper was fantastic, but ultimately, Sydney had that one moment of composure. Ayman Zayed with the lone goal. That will take them to 7 points.
And, I think that, like, with all of the chances that Sydney got, I mean, Zayed, I think that might have been their only real chance there. Specifically Zayed.
I think there were a few half chances here or there, but I mean, Tokyo, look at those forward match ratings. They were not bad. They did everything but score.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You look at Cairo, though. I mean, 6.8 isn't bad by any means, but, like, you want to have that final pass that breaks through the defense. And while they did have a lot of shots, not a lot of those were, like, in good positions.
Yeah, a lot of far out shots and weird angles.
So that there's not really much else to say with that match. I mean, we're waiting to see the final standings of this week. I mean, overall, what do you think was the most interesting game?
Honestly, that last one was good just because it was like, who's going to break first?
My mom always said that her worst nightmare was to be stuck at a pitcher's duel with my dad and one of his old friends and just have to sit there and listen to them during a pitcher's duel. And I think that
final standings.
I think that I can relate to that watching a goalkeeper duel. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say actually that there was something interesting with the Sao Paulo game. There was something interesting there. And neither Sao Paulo or Accra really moved up at all in terms of this. But Sydney, this is big for Sydney. I think, yeah, that the entire top half of the table is tied.
Yep, I mean, I know it's early season, but it just goes to show this league is wide open. You want to be that team that takes advantage at the end.
I mean, you got to get players who are, I was going to say who play well in November, but I know that that's not specifically how this league runs. Do we run, like, winter to winter, or... Well, anyway, that's going to be it for us. I'm Jiggly.
And I'm Val.
Thank you for watching.